Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be reviewing the market for yesterday, Monday, September 9th, 2024. If you're new to my channel, my name is Jake. I do daily videos on market recaps and ICT concepts. So if you like this type of content, definitely consider leaving a like and subscribing. Yesterday was actually a really clean day for being a no news Monday, and I didn't trade because it's a no news Monday, but it was really nice, and it had a 4-to-1 trade that I spotted. I didn't see anyone else talking about this trade, but I saw this trade that was a 4-to-1 trade. It was really nice, and we're going to be going over a lot of other people's trades as well, but in general, yesterday was a really great day. I'm behind on these recaps. I'm one day behind, but that's okay. I'll get caught up. So, let's take a look at yesterday. So, I can find it. So, immediately, right in the morning, I drew out the true day open, and I drew out the true New York open. And I do this because it gets me in the right headspace to understand what kind of daily profile we're looking at. So there's the true day open, and here is the true New York open. The true day open is midnight New York time. The true New York open is 7:30 New York time. So, what did this tell me? This told me that it seemed to me we were above the true day open but below the New York open. So it seemed to me like today was going to be a New York continuation daily profile. What does that mean? That means that the market goes up throughout London, manipulates for the beginning of New York session, and then distributes higher for the rest, continues and distributes higher for the rest of New York session. So let's go over the trade that I saw and took, and I thought was really good. So first, you'll see there's this giant order block that takes out liquidity. It's clear and obvious. It's really hard to miss. So I drew this out. I'm gonna get rid of those because we don't really need them anymore. So this is clear high time frame order block, and I had noticed right in the morning that we had pushed into this high time frame order block, we had swept into it, and we had started to push higher. Sorry, this isn't right. Sorry, this isn't right. Okay. Sorry. There was this 1 hour order block. Okay, here we go. So I noticed we pushed into this 1 hour order block. You saw how I drew that. It was the top of that candle body that swept liquidity. You can see that even on the 1 minute, it's this giant move down that swept out these lows. So this is a very clear order block. You see the swept sell side right here. So I marked this out, and so now we're on the 1 minute time frame, and clear order block. I'm gonna put 1 hour order block. So we had this 1 hour order block. At around this time, I came on the charts, and we got this market structure shift. Coming out of this 1 hour order block, and we pushed back down into a 3 minute fair value gap. You can see right here, this is a 3 minute fair value gap. So now if I go all the way back over there, you can see this is starting to look like what? A buy model, right? So we had this 1 minute gap, and when this inversed, this would have been my entry. This is if I was on the charts at this time, and if I was trading. I did not actually take this trade, but I believe if I saw this at the time, I would have taken this trade. But clear buy model coming out of a 1 hour order block, fit in with my daily profile, which is New York continuation. So I was expecting a distribution leg higher. Your first take profit would be these internal highs, and you'd move your stop loss to break even. Then TP2 be up here or here, just depending on where you want to take profit. TP2, and then you could do a TP3 here, or you could do it at these highs. Just depends whatever you want to do. And then like a TP4 here, and you can see that this would have been like a 4-to-1 risk reward trade, just depending on where you had your stop. Could have even been a 5-to-1. But it was really nice. And if you just move your stop loss to break even and let your runners run, you can see you can catch some really nice trades, especially when you're expecting a buy model like this. But you can see this is an incredibly nice market maker buy model. Shoot, my laptop needs to charge. 1 second. My charger's upstairs. I can't charge it right now. Hopefully it doesn't die. So, it's at 19%. We're fine. So, this was my trade. I thought it was really nice. But there were a few other trades you could have taken. Let's start by looking at dodgies. So, Dodgy took this trade at 11:30. And you can see this is pretty clear too. You have, that looked like it was on the 2 minute. Yeah. So you have this 2 minute gap. I'm not going to switch to the 2 minute because then it's going to take too much time. But you had this 2 minute gap. And the 2 minute close above. So you would enter. Now it's not super clear because this is the 1 minute, but the 2 minute must have closed below this internal high. And then you'd enter. Stop loss somewhere here. And it looks like he just targeted this fair value gap. So super nice trade from Dodgy. Clearly you want to take profit at this fair value gap because this is a giant fair value gap, and I would definitely take profit here because this is a big fair value gap. It did continue through it, but it was a pretty big fair value gap. So you had this buy model, you had this buy model, and this pushed into that other order block we were talking about earlier. And then Dodgy also was talking about this trade. Which was also really nice. You had a giant death candle that swept liquidity. And it inverses both of these fair value gaps at once. So you enter right here. You can see this swept buy side. Sweep. Close below. Here's where you enter short. You have clear low resistance liquidity being built up. And then target these lows. Now I'd probably put your stop like here or something, but let's see where he put a stop. Okay, you need to put your stop all the way up there, but he targeted the low all the way down here, so definitely learn from that trade. But I'm guessing with it being such a clear low resistance liquidity run and with it being such a big death candle, this gave Dodgy a lot of conviction. So super nice trade. Next, I'm going to take a look at Hydra's trade. You can see this was right after Dodgy's trade. This pushed into, looks like this is a breaker block. And I'm going to need to make a video on breaker blocks at some point, but essentially it's these up close candles. It's a low, high, lower, low, higher, high. And so these up close candles are the breaker block. So looks like he entered on the retest of this breaker block. This is an entry model that I'm going to have to familiarize myself a little bit more with, but it worked out well for him. He had this breaker block, and or was it up here? Yeah, it was right here. So let's get rid of my trade. Yeah, this breaker block, push back up into it, and then he targeted this low as well. So very similar trade to Dodgy, but off of a different confluence. And then lastly, I want to pull up a video that of a trade that Justin took, and essentially this is a giant market maker sell model. This whole entire thing is a giant market maker sell model. And so he is zoomed out pretty far actually. Oh, he's right here. I believe he's right here. I could be wrong. Let's see. Oh wow, this is pretty low time frame. What is he? He's on. We'll skip Justin's trade for today, but In the future, I will have that ready so I can have all the trades pulled up all at once. But I think that's enough for this video for reviewing the market for yesterday. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.